Welcome. My name is Jennifer Long from Be So Inspired, and I'm very happy to be here with you today to share my very favorite mask tutorial with you. So I know we're probably all getting really tired of wearing our masks, and even more so sewing our masks, because we've been sewing them for many years, and I've definitely made hundreds, if not 1,000 or so masks for sure, as I'm sure many of you have as well. But there's one mask pattern that I've sort of adapted that I keep coming back to, and that my children, which I have 4 of, all love the most. So right now we are in central Canada, and they've have us going to remote learning. Our cases are rising again, but we're hoping to go back to school the following week, and they've asked us to have 3-layered masks or medical grade masks. So obviously I want to sew for my kids, and I want them to have cotton on their faces. So I am making 3-layered medical grade masks, or not medical grade, 3-layered masks for my kids. So my one daughter chose this really adorable kitty fabric here. She just loves cats, and so why not make some masks that are fun, that your kids just love. This is called Cat's Meow, and it's by Shawn, Wallace for Riley Blake Designs. And I just really love using quilting cotton for masks because, number one, it's such great quality cotton. It's so soft. And you wash it, it sort of holds its integrity. It's really tightly woven. So I'm going to use this for the outer, these adorable prints for the outer layers. So the front and back of my daughter's mask. And then I am going to use confetti cotton basic for the middle layer because you won't be able to see it. And I don't need to use a fancy print on the inside. So I'm going to cut, and I'm going to link in this video tutorial my little cut sheet chart so that you know what sizes I make for. There's a preschool size, a school age size, and then an adult size. And depending on the shape of your child's face or your face, for example, you might want to change the sizes slightly, or the elastic sizes. But I'll just talk to you about a little bit of the stuff that I use here. So I need a quilting cotton, a front layer, a back layer, and then a middle layer. And then some elastic. So I have this 1/4 inch elastic here, or 1/8 of an inch is great too. I have it on big rolls. I use it lots for doll making, but I have it in white and black spools for my kids. And then I also have, my one son really prefers this rolled elastic. So this is just a little bit one thought when you're sewing it in. You just got to make sure that you've really shortened your stitch length when you're sewing rolled elastic in so it doesn't pull out, but it is really comfortable to wear too. So I have that in white and black as well. So you just need to get the measurements from that download chart, which is in the link at the bottom of this video, and you can cut your fabrics out. So you cut the front out, the back out, the middle layer out, and your elastic lengths. Then you're going to sew it together. Okay, so I'll show you how I put the elastics and sew my 3-layer masks together. So I'm going to put the two, this is for my daughter, and I'm going to put 2 pieces of fabric right size together. This is Riley Blake cotton. It's called Cat's Meow by Shawn Wallace, and it's just so adorable. She loves kittens. So it's going to go, this is the top, this is the bottom, and these are the sides. So it's lengthwise like this. And then I'm using a 3rd layer in here. That's what the school is recommending. And I'm going to put, it's a Riley Blake cotton as well. It's a confetti cotton. I just love how soft, but how like tight the weave is on it. So I'm going to do the 3 layers like that. So you have the 2 right sides together, and then the 3rd layer on the top. This is the bottom, so I'm going to start with the bottom, and I want to leave an opening here at the bottom. So I'm going to back stitch just a 1/4 of the way in, and I'm going to come back just to get started. I'm going to insert my elastic right here in the corner, so I'll lift the 2 right sides together. Just ignore that 3rd layer on the top. Imagine that these 2 are one now. So I'm going to take my elastic that's already pre-measured, and I'm going to extend it here. Now try not to have it so tight here. You can always trim it after. So I always cut my elastic just slightly generous so it's coming off the edge, because there's nothing worse than turning your mask right side out after doing all the work and realizing you didn't catch your elastic. So you can see it's out coming right at the corner at a 45-degree angle. And I'm going to sew right at my 1/4 inch seam lead my needle down. It's in the elastic through, just rotate it 90 degrees and continue on. So I've been holding the elastic here so that I know it's flat inside. Then over here, I'm just going to make sure that it's not twisted up because you don't want it to be all twisted in here. So make sure the elastic is flat, and I'll close this over and lay everything nice and flat as well. I'm just going to hold on to this elastic so I can find it when I need it at this farther corner. So I'm just sewing my 1/4 inch seam. I'm going to trim afterwards, so if it's not, just make sure you're catching all 3. I'm going to have to pull a little bit, which is starting to gather the back, but just so I keep a hold of this and I know that the elastic is nice and flat through here. And when I get close enough to this corner, I'm going to take my elastic and do the exact same thing here. I'm going to hold on to it here so it maintains that 45-degree angle because it is pulling at the back. And then just continue over. Needle stays down and rotate. So that's the elastic here for one ear. This is still going to stay nice and flat, so I'm going to go to about 1/4 here. This is the top part. And then I'll repeat with another pre-measured elastic. I'm going to put it in, same as I did before, and cover it over right to the corner. Needle down position and rotate. As I rotate, make sure that elastic is nice and flat. It's so nice and quick, and I'm just keeping hold of this elastic. I know that this finger is on top. You can really get into a rhythm if you're making lots of these. And needle down. I'm going to straighten. This is the bottom part here. I'm going to come back here, and I'll do a back stitch right here, and I am done. All right, so here's the mask that I've just sewn, and I've got the edges of the elastic sticking out. So I'm going to use my scissors, and on a diagonal, not cutting too close, I am going to snip those off. So you can see how that is on all 4 corners. And if you have a lot of extra around the edges, you could trim that off. But I am going to leave it because I'm going to do another seam around the edge afterwards, and I really like to have some stability on the edges so that I don't lose my elastic. So you can just use your fingers and turn this out like this. You can use a pair of hemostats, which I can show you. And then I also have this wonderful flamingo turner from my dear friend Bev at Flamingo Toes, and it's great for the corners. So I'll show you that. I'm just going to grab my hemostats. As a doll maker, I have tons of pairs of these, and they're really wonderful for turning. So I just grab the corners, and it just turns right for me. I'll grab the other corner. It's just like having extendable fingers. Excellent. So I'll use this to push the corners out just to start. Get this blunt edge on all 4 corners. And then I'm going to use this point turner in the corners and get the corners pushed out nice and yeah, nice and turned so that all 4 corners are turned. All right, so it's going to look like this. I'm going to take it over to my iron, and I am going to press it so it's not, all the edges are pressed out nice and flat. Now you do have some, depending on what kind of elastic you have, you want to make sure that you're maybe not pressing your elastic so much, although most elastics can handle it. And I'm just going to show you how I press all the seams. And then this part right here, it's right in the middle, so it's really easy to do. You're just going to tuck it under, and you're going to press it like that. All right, so you've got your mask. All my edges are pressed on here. We're going to do a seam that goes all the way around here at about 1/8 of an inch, and that will close up this bottom seam for you. But before we do that, we are going to pick which side we want to be the front. Oh, I like, they're actually both really cute. I'm going to pick this side though, and I'm going to lay out, I'm going to do 3 pleats in them. This really works nicely because it really opens up. It covers the chin really nicely on a child and up over the nose. If you wanted to insert a nose piece, this is where you would do it. Now you'd insert it and then you'd sew around the nose piece after. But my younger kids do not like nose pieces. So I'm going to take this at about 1 inch measurement, and I've got my mat underneath here so I can see where my 1 inch measure is. And I'm going to do 1/4 and 1/4 inch. and fold. And then using my pins, I pin it. So this is actually the longest part for me, is this pinning. Oh, I just poked myself. And the most dangerous part. And then, but so worth it, I think. Then I'll take another little 1/2 inch, and that whole pleat ends up being a full inch in there. And pin it there. And pin there. And then we're going to do the third and last one. There we go. So what I love about these masks is they are nice and deep this way. So like I said, they do really cover. They feel very comfortable on. They're not squishing the face, and they've just been my kids' favorite masks. We're going to take this over to the sewing machine next, and we're going to sew around here one time, and that is going to fix the seam. So there you have it, my family's favorite mask tutorial for you, sharing that with you. So let me know in the comments if you like this one, if you found it helpful. Head over to the Be So Inspired website at www.besoinspired.com. Make sure that you sign up for our newsletters, because we're constantly giving free advice, free education, and tutorials like this one. You will make sure that you won't miss any new videos that get uploaded. If you want, you can like and subscribe to this video on YouTube. Or comment on it in the Facebook groups. You can join either of our Facebook groups. We have a doll one and a quilt one. Head over to the Be So Inspired website to find out all about that. And I really hope you enjoyed making these masks with me today. And I can't wait to start the next sewing project with you. Bye for now.